They called it a robbery gone wrong. The newspapers plastered it in bold, "MP shot dead in love nest." But that was just the mask. Behind the headlines lay a tangled mess of lust, jealousy, and calculated betrayal. A love triangle soaked in secrets and blood. Honorable Patrick Waru was a man used to getting what he wanted. At 43, he had climbed the greasy pole of Kenyan politics with charm, wit, and a thick skin. As the Member of Parliament for Kiambu East, he had a face the public adored and a smile that could melt even his enemies in Parliament. But for all his political savviness, Patrick had one fatal flaw: he couldn't keep his pants zipped. His wife, Stella Waru, had been with him from the beginning. The woman behind the man. She had weathered the storms with him: fake tender deals, sex for vote scandals, and even a tax evasion case. She was beautiful, polished, and fiercely intelligent. But by now her smiles were hollow, and her patience worn thin. Patrick had promised to change. But lies are cheap when you're sleeping in state-funded luxury. Then came Zawadi Nyambura, 26. A former model turned Instagram influencer. She walked like a flame through the corridors of power, and Patrick burned instantly. He met her at a charity gala in Rwanda. By the end of the night, he had slipped her a card and sent his driver to pick her the next morning. Within 3 weeks, she had a fully furnished apartment in Kilimani, a white Audi Q5, and keys to a secret life. Zawadi wasn't new to rich, powerful men. But Patrick was different, so attentive, so generous. He promised her everything. Even hinted at divorcing Stella. What Patrick didn't know was that Zawadi had a past. A dangerous one. Detective Moses Kiprotich of the Special Crimes Unit had known Zawadi for years. He met her when she was just 19, trapped in a revenge porn scandal. He rescued her, protected her, and fell for her. But Zawadi was too wild to be caged. She used him and left. Yet Moses never really let her go. He watched from afar. Still called sometimes. Still obsessed. When he found out about Patrick, through a tagged photo on some obscure Instagram page, his heart cracked. That night, he texted Zawadi, "He's using you. He doesn't love you like I do." She didn't reply. The turning point came when Stella finally hired a private investigator. For weeks, she had watched her husband make vague excuses, late-night meetings, closed-door constituency visits, sudden work trips to Nairobi. The detective brought her photos. Zawadi and Patrick kissing outside Kempinski. Entering the Kilimani flat. A video clip of Patrick giving her a wad of cash. Stella didn't cry. She didn't scream. She simply forwarded the photo to an unregistered number with a short message, "She's all yours. Do what you must." That message found Moses in a dim bar in Rongai, nursing a bottle of white cup. He stared at it for a long time, then stood up and walked out. At 2:17 a.m., Zawadi was in her bathroom, humming and exfoliating her face. Patrick was asleep on her bed, sprawled and naked under white sheets, snoring softly. The door creaked open. A man in a black hoodie slipped in. He didn't speak. Didn't flinch. The first bullet tore through Patrick's chest. The second obliterated his jaw. Zawadi screamed. She ran into the hallway and saw Moses holding the smoking gun. For a second, their eyes locked. His hand trembled. Then he turned and vanished into the night. The police arrived before 3 a.m. Zawadi, shaken but strangely composed, claimed it was a robbery. The safe had been emptied. Some jewelry missing. But the apartment showed no signs of forced entry. Nothing made sense. By morning, the news had spread across the nation. Every TV station, every radio talk show, it was all anyone could talk about. The headlines were relentless. MP murdered in woman's apartment. Kilimani love triangle ends in blood. There was no mention of Detective Kiprotic. He had disappeared like smoke. A week later, his apartment was found abandoned. His phone was off. Some claimed he crossed into Somalia. Others swore they saw him in Mombasa boarding a dhow headed to Yemen. Zawadi never returned to Instagram. Her accounts were wiped clean. Rumors surfaced that she'd gone to Dubai, financed by yet another sponsor. Others claimed she had a baby, perhaps Patrick's, perhaps Moses's. Stella. She wore black to the funeral. Wailed behind dark sunglasses. Then, quietly, she began campaigning to take her husband's parliamentary seat. A widow's redemption story. A phoenix rising from betrayal. She won by a landslide. Now she walks the halls of Parliament herself. Composed. Respected. Feared. And no one dares ask her what she knew. Because in politics, truth is never simple. Love is never pure. And sometimes, it kills.